So since we've returned, I just want to say briefly, because I know more can come out in questions, what have we been up to? In March of 2006, there was a march in Washington, a theatrical march as prisoners at Guantanamo from the Supreme Court. And to the Congress, to the Justice Department, to the White House, and nonviolent direct action at the White House. In April of 2006, an anti-torture bloc marches in the UFPJ March for Peace and Justice. More than 100 activists wearing the orange t-shirts blazoned with "Shut Down Guantanamo, End Torture." We've constructed a cage on wheels that we bring to demonstrations that is quite effective, I think, in really kind of stops people in their tracks. May 1st, 2006, an interfaith action to condemn torture and demand justice for those imprisoned at Guantanamo. More than 100 people participated in an interfaith service and then risked arrest at the United Nations. July of 2006, an international day to shut down Guantanamo. So we begin organizing around the country and around the world. Leading up to January 11th of 2007, in which 96 of us were arrested at the federal courthouse building in Washington, D.C. When we went in, each of us took a name of someone in Guantanamo, because we were very determined that they would have their day in court. And so we did not use our own names when arrested. We used the name of someone in Guantanamo. And for that arrest, we were released later that evening and did not return to court. However, a year later, and you know, again, we continued the same type of activities throughout the year. So let me end just with our January 11th, 2008 discussion of that action. On January 11th, 80 of us were arrested at the U.S. Supreme Court as part of the Witness Against Torture January 11th action to mark 6 years of unjust imprisonment and abuse for the men held in Guantanamo. From my understanding, there were half of us that were arrested inside the court and half who were arrested outside of the court. It's the first time in the court's history that anyone has risked arrest within the court, and it was really quite a scene. Again, we were taken away rather quickly, but once downstairs, we refused to give our name. We only gave the name of someone in Guantanamo. And that, you could really see the circuit breakers and the smoke rising, you know, in public officials. And there was one moment where they were very determined to get our names. And the chief of the Supreme Court police would try anything, and we had a little bit of gallows humor if it was, because it was a rougher arrest. No food, no water. You were in handcuffs for 8 hours at a time. We can talk about that later. But so he came down to us in that southern drawl. He said, "If you think, Abdul, that you're ever going to fly again, think again, because you are not. Because the name on your passport is a nickname, and the name that you're given today is going to be the name that you're going to have for the rest of your life." You know, this went on and on and on. And so we were saying to each other, you know, if you think you're going to ever use your Best Buy card again, Abdul, think again, because you're not. You know, it was just crazy. And they took everything from us and said, "You're not going to get anything back because you're not giving us your real name." I have to say, when I woke up in D.C. jail block, we were wakened at about 4 to be moved over to another court building, and they shouted out, you know, "Met Ali Ashan," which is the name that I had taken. It was a moment of finally, the names are being heard. My sister called down to find out where I was, and they said to her, "Well, there's no one by my name down here. They've given us only the names of those." It was fantastic. And these names, that when we finally got out, the judge allowed us to use the names. We gave the names, and 46 folk will be going back to court in May for what promises to be a 4-day trial and a 4-day opportunity to continue the resistance and to continue to have these men's names read loud and clear to end the dehumanization of those in Guantanamo. So I'm going to stop now and hope that more questions will come up, question and answer. This is our new t-shirt designed by Shepard Fairey. It helps us continue our work. We have them for sale, as well as the orange t-shirts if you're interested at the end of the presentation. Thank you.